Thank you for joining me on the mats. Today we're going to start in a lying down position. So find a comfortable lying down position. Your feet are going to be grounded on the mat. Head is down. And we're going to start with our breath. Let's bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your lower belly, and close down your eyes. From here, we're going to start taking deep breaths in through your nose and exhaling out through your mouth. Checking in to see how you're feeling in your body and in your mind. And as you breathe in, feeling that rise, that lift into both of your hands. And on that exhale, maybe your shoulders roll down, your bum gets a little bit heavier down into the mat. Make the next breath your deepest and widest breath like this, in through your nose. Really big exhale out through your mouth. Gently start blinking open your eyes. Reach those hands back behind you. We're going to start with our hands behind our head. Your left ankle is going to cross over your right knee. So you're in a figure four stretch. Elbows are as wide as they can be towards the ground. And from there, you're just going to start shifting your hips from left to right. So open up slightly through those hips, through those glutes. And also through that chest and that back by keeping those elbows really nice and grounded. Maybe you can start to draw some circles of that top ankle in one direction. And then maybe the opposite direction. Okay, the next time that leg is floating over towards the right-hand side, I want you to uncross that left leg and allow both knees to knock all the way over to the right. Okay, heart starts shining up towards the ceiling. We're going to do our book opening. So your left elbow is going to close towards your right elbow. Keep those knees and ankles pinned together towards the ground. And then slowly you start to unravel. Left elbow opens up. Eye gaze follows, shine that chest towards the ceiling. So now we're opening up through that upper part of your back, upper part of your chest. It should feel really nice, especially if we spend a lot of time at a desk. Your eye gaze just follows that elbow, and by having those knees over to one side, it means you're really isolating this movement in through that torso. Right, let's make the next one, the last one like this. You reach all the way over, hold over there towards the left-hand side. And then slowly start to unravel. Allow those knees to come back into the center. Your right ankle now crosses that left knee. Right ankle is on top. Maybe draw circles of that ankle as you shift those hips from left to right. So it's a bit of a kind of dynamic figure four stretch today. Open up through your hips, open up through that upper back. Maybe rolling out through that ankle if it feels nice for you. Almost like teasing a little bit further from left to right. Then the next time we draw those knees over towards the left, hold there, unravel that right knee. Both knees are down, and we're going to find your book opening. So your right elbow comes all the way over towards that left elbow. You then unravel, your heart shines towards the ceiling. Let's go again. Right elbow closes. You close that book really nice. And then you unravel. Let's make the next one your final one. Right elbow comes towards your left elbow. Then you unravel, open that chest up towards the ceiling. And then draw those knees all the way back, so back shining towards the ceiling. We're going to find our bridge. I'm just going to wiggle myself down. Your heels are hip distance. Fingertips can touch the heels, just to check they're in that hip distance position. We're going to start with those arms straight away. Feet are grounded. We're going to slowly draw the lower back into the mat. And from there, we're going to ripple your hips. And we're going to ripple your hands up towards the ceiling. Hold there. Your feet are grounded, your knees track forward. And those arms Continue overhead. Your palms come all the way up towards the ceiling, and then you slowly lower down, upper back, middle back, lower back, bum hits, arms sweep all the way down. Really nice. Let's keep going like this. We're thinking articulation of that spine. You're coming up and down one vertebra at a time. Hands lock overhead. And then when you ripple down, you can get a little bit more space behind those ribs. Really nice. So warming up through that body. Keeping it slow, keeping it controlled. And just moving, really trying to knock one vertebra at a time up and down. Let's go for 2 more like this. Keeping it as slow as you can. Final one. You slowly glide all the way up. You ripple all the way down. Bum hits. Arms come all the way up overhead. Hands stay overhead if you can. You can keep those hands long down by your side if you want more stability. You're going to come back into your bridge, keep it slow. At that top point now, can you lift both of your heels up? If that feels too much, you can just do one heel lift. Drop both of your heels down and then slowly ripple that spine down. So we roll ourselves all the way up. We lift those heels up. We drop those heels down. And then you slowly lower down. Let's go for 2 more like this. Really pausing at the top, slowing it down as you lower those heels. The next time you lift all the way up, hold there. Can we hold those heel lifts? You lift and then you lower those heels. I want you to keep it as slow as you can. And you're trying to keep the hips and the rest of the body still as you lift and lower through those heels. Give me 2 more. The next time those heels are lifted, hold there. Can we go for small pulses of those hips? You lower and you lift. It's an exhale as you power up and inhale as you sink down. For 4. Keep really high on those heels. 3, 2. Can you hold all the way up? Keep those heels lifted as you slowly ripple down, upper back, middle back, lower back. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a rock from left to right. Maybe roll out through those ankles. Hands come behind your knees. We're going to do some rolling like a ball. You're going to slowly start rocking yourself forward and then you rock back. Hands behind your knees mean you get a bit more of a kick. You can bring those hands on top of those knees if you want to make it a little bit harder. If you can, just hover those feet up on the mat and then you roll back. Just challenging that balance a little bit, releasing that spine. The next time you come up, hold there, freeze at that top point, keep those legs hovered, and then cross those legs, hands come down. We're going to meet in a 4-point kneeling position. But I roll myself to the edge of the mat, so I'm just walking myself back. Hands come underneath those shoulders, knees come underneath your hips. We're in that 4-point kneeling position. We're going to find the cat-cow. We drop your belly, we lift your chest on that inhale. And then on that exhale, you're going to round your spine, looking towards your knees. Okay, we're doing loads of spinal articulations, movements of that spine today. If you want in this cat-cow, you can add a bit of a shift of those hips from left to right. Whatever movement feels good for you. Listen to your body. And then find that midpoint between those extremes, so pushing those hands down. You're going to kick that left leg back behind you, point those toes. Can you keep your shoulders and your hips facing down towards the mat? And we're going to start with our leg lifts. You're going to lift your left leg up and you drop it down. Okay, as we move here, if it feels too much on your hands, you can drop to your elbows. And if it feels too much on that right supporting knee, you can roll over your mat. If you can, everything is staying still, apart from that left leg as you lift. And then you lower. Eye gaze is forward. The next time that leg lifts, hold there. Can we find your rainbows? You're going to tap your toes over to one side of the mat. Big lift up and then over towards the opposite side. We lift up, we lift over. We're coming into those outer glutes now. I know I want you to reach over towards the edge of the mat, but not to a point that you move those hips. So keeping those hips stable is the most important part of this move. Your eye gaze is forward. The next time you're passing through center, hold there. Keep that leg lifted. Flex your foot so your foot is down, your heel is away. Can you keep your leg lifted in space? You're going to bend from your knee, heel to bum. We're coming into those hamstrings. Point those toes, extend that leg long. Really keep pushing that ground away with those hands. Flex the foot, heel to bum. Point the toes, extend that leg long. Let's go for 4 more. Really keep that heel back towards your bum. And then you extend it long. Keep that knee lifted. The next time your leg is bent, hold there, freeze. Heel is up towards the ceiling. Can you give me small pulses up and down for 4. Exhale as you lift. Keep pushing them out of the way. The next time that leg is lifted, hold there. Straighten that leg all the way out. You're going to draw that right knee behind and we're going to come up into that kind of modified side plank position. So your right knee is underneath that hip, your left leg is long and grounded. Hands come behind your head. We're going to keep everything in that really nice long line. So your foot, your hips and your head. From there, we're going to keep your hands either hands to temples, hands behind your head, or you can cross those hands across your body as well. We're going to start leaning. Your right elbow comes down towards the ground, and then you slowly come up. So it's like you're leaning up and over, and then we come all the way back. Yeah, okay, so we're coming into those obliques. I like an inhale as I come down and an exhale as I rise. I want it to stay slow. Can we add a challenge? You come down and you hold. Can you reach those hands long? Hands come back behind your head and then you come up. It feels like those arms are a bit of a weight. So you lean over, you reach long, hands towards your temples, and then you come back up. Really good. Let's go for 2 more like this. The next time you come down, hold. Can we hold those arm reaches? If it feels too much, you can go back to just your lift and lower. If you can, you stay low. You reach those arms long and then you come back. You should really feel those left obliques working to stabilize you. Keep those hands long, freeze there. We've got 3 rotations. You rotate towards the mat. You unravel, you reach up. Hands behind your head will make this nicer. 2. Open up to that lower back. Final 1. Lift those arms up. Keep that leg position. Hands come on the mat. You're going to draw your right knee forward and you're going to find your frog stretch. Arms come out into a T shape. Your left leg is flexed. Can you draw your left hand down towards your left foot or your left shin? Right hand reaches up and over. Opening up through those inner thighs. Then that right hand floats behind your bum. You're going to sweep your hips up. That left hand reaches up. So find a bit of a hip opener. We then glide down and we're moving fluidly through both of those moves. Should feel really nice to open up through your chest, open up through your heart. If it doesn't feel good to lift those hips, you can of course stay low on the mat as well. For me, that lift of those hips is really nice to really open up through that lower body, open up through that pelvis. Let's make the next one, your final one, like this. You lift up, you hold there. Give me a pause at the top point. And then slowly lower all the way down. Okay, from there, both of your feet are going to come forward. I'm just going to turn so you can see me, but you can stay facing me. Your feet are going to be grounded, your hands are going to be behind your bum, eye gaze is forward. We're going to do some tricep dips. Can you draw your elbows back towards the mat and then you come up? So our legs are the biggest muscle in the body and they're going to be really helpful and want to do this move for us. So I want you to really keep your legs as heavy as you can. So it's just coming from those arms, so your elbows glide back. Your elbows push forward. Trying to keep your elbows as close to your body as you can. So you're trying to like wrap them in. They're not going out the side like chicken wings. Eye gaze is forward. So you inhale, you sink. You exhale to press. The next time you come down, hold there. Can you lift your right leg to tabletop? Can you lift your left leg to tabletop? So slight bend in your elbows. From there, you're going to tap one toe down. You come back up. Other toe comes down. You come back up. Okay, we're coming to our abs as well as those arms. Let's go for 4. Eye gaze is forward. 3, 2. The next time you're lifted, hold there. Can you extend your legs long? You're dropping down a bit deeper to those elbows, and then you're going to push up on those arms, knees to chest. So it's like we're gliding ourselves all the way back as if you're scooping under a surface, and then you glide all the way up. Keep those toes together. You sink down, and you come up, becoming more into those abs. Give me 3 more. Eye gaze stays forward. 2. The next time you stay low, hold there. Bend to those elbows. Eye gaze is forward for 3, 2, 1. Come all the way up. Butterfly those legs. Feet come together. Hands come down to those ankles. Elbows push in towards your knees and give yourself a little rock from side to side. Tricep dips, always so hard for me. So I hope you felt the same. Okay, let's find that frog stretch on the other side, which will feel even nicer. Your right leg now goes long, your left knee is bent. Hands open up into that T shape, flex that foot. You're going to glide your right hand down towards that shin or that foot. Your left hand reaches up and over. You're now going to float that left hand behind you. You sweep those hips forward. You lift your right hand all the way up. Making it into a bit of a flow, you sink down, right hand down, left hand reaching up. Really enjoy this stretch, that opening through your chest, that opening through your hips. Let's go for 2 more like this. Maybe reaching slightly further towards that foot every time. Final one. The next time you lift those hips, hold there, freeze there. Okay, we're going to come into that modified side plank. So your right leg is back. You're going to lift yourselves up so your hands come behind your head or wherever feels comfy. They can be crossed, they can be all the way behind. My fingertips are to my temples. We're going to lean over towards your left side and then we come all the way back. We lean over. It's like you're really reaching up and over and then you come back. Maybe we add that reach of those arms as you come down, hands to temples, and then you come up and through. You lean, you reach, hands to temples, come all the way back. Really nice. So working on those obliques to keep us still. Okay. The next time we're down, can you see if you can stay down? Hold there. We reach those arms long, hands back to the temples. We reach and then we draw back. In 3, we're going to hold those rotations. It's a bit of an arm movement as well. 2. Can you keep those arms long and rotate to look down towards the mat? And then you unravel. So you're coming into that lower back movement. You look down and then you unravel. You look down, hold there. Both hands come down to the mat. Turn your left knee so it's facing forward and we're going to come into those leg lifts. Hands are down, back leg is long. Point that leg, you lift it up, you tap it down. Your same options are there as before. If you want, you can drop down onto your elbows, or you can roll over your mat to give yourself extra support on your left knee. Your eye gaze is forward towards the front edge of the mat, and you're really keeping those back toes nice and long. Exhale as we lift up. Inhale as we lower. Everything else is staying super still. The next time you lift long, hold there. Can we find those rainbows? Toes go to the left. You do a big sweep up, toes come to the right. So you're trying to really keep pushing that mat down. Keep everything nice and stable. As you find those rainbows, you reach up, you reach over, and then over towards the opposite side. Really nice. Keep pushing the mat away. Make sure we're not switching over to those hips too much. Then the next time you're passing through center, hold there. Right leg is long. Flex that foot, your heel pushes away. Eye gaze is forward. Can you bend your knee, heel to bum? Point your toes, extend that leg long. Flex your foot, heel to bum. Point those toes, extend that leg long. Really nice. We're coming to that hamstring on that right side. Keep that knee lifted in space. Keep that mat really pushing away. So you're finding space in through your shoulder blades. A really good full body move. The next time that leg is bent, hold there. Flex that foot towards the ceiling and give me small pulses up and down. It's like you're squishing something into the ceiling. Really good. Exhale every time you lift. For 3, 2, hold up on that next one. Right leg steps back, hover that left knee. Left leg steps back, and find that downward dog stretch. Your hands reach forward, your heels push back. Can you pedal it out? One heel drops, the other knee bends, and then we switch over. Switching from side to side, looking back towards those ankles. Pause with both of your heels down, slight bend into your knees, and we're slowly going to walk those hands down towards your toes. At that bottom point, nod your head yes. Shake your head no, and then slowly glide yourselves all the way up to standing. Shoulders roll back, shoulders roll forward. Okay, we're going to end with a standing sequence. I'm going to turn to face you. We're going to start in a squat. Your feet about hip distance or slightly wider. You have a slight external rotation, so toes can be out the side if that feels good for you. Hands start in prayer position. You're going to sink all the way down. And then you're going to stand all the way up, arms sweep almost slightly further behind you. So it's an inhale as you sink down, and exhale as you press. Bum goes all the way back behind you, as if we're sitting in that really deep chair. Your feet are grounded. Make sure your weight is even from left to right. So it's an inhale to sink, and exhale to press. The next time you come up to stand, hold there. Can you come on your tiptoes of that right foot? And then you continue. So your right heel is lifted as we sink down and we come all the way up. Make sure that knee is really tracking all the way forward. Your bum goes all the way back behind you. Okay, we're going to start challenge our balance a little bit. The next time you come up, hold there. Can that right foot step behind you? So you're crossing over those legs and you're going to give me one curtsey lunge. Try to keep those hips shining forward and your knees are kind of tracking out over those ankles still. You stand up, you're going to draw that right foot forward, keep that heel lifted though, and then you give me that squat with that heel lifted. So that right heel doesn't drop as you cross it back. You sink down into that curtsey lunge, you come up, and then you sink. So this is really nice to engage through those outer glutes a little bit more. Keep those hips shining forward. We sink down into that squat. We cross back. We sink all the way down with both knees bent. Really good, okay. Starting to feel a little bit more energized now. Keeping it slow, try not to speed it up too much. So your right leg, although it's doing the moving, it's almost a bit more distracting, whereas that left leg is having to work really hard to stabilize. So don't worry if you feel it a little bit more into that left leg. So we do one squat, one curtsey. We've got 3 more like this. Hips stay forward, keep grounding down to your front foot. 2. The next time you step back into that lunge, can you hold there and freeze? Okay, both knees are bent, your hips are forward. Can you give me small pulses up and down? Both knees are bending. It's like your head's away and you're just really dropping down, and then you lift for 3, 2, 1. Step all the way up, drop that right foot all the way down. We've got those squats. Keep both of your heels down as you sink and then you stand. You can shake out through those legs if you want, but start with both of those heels down and just see now how you feel from left to right. Maybe there's a subtle difference now. Inhale to sink, exhale to stand. The next time you're standing tall, hold there. Could you lift up through your left heel now? And we continue. As you squat down with that heel lifted, make sure your knees stay tracking all the way forward over that front ankle. So with that heel lifted, that leg's going to want to go out the sides, but we really want to make sure it's going as forward over the ankle as we can. Can we add that step back? You stand up. That left foot crosses behind that right leg. You sink down. Stand, keep that left heel lifted as you find that squat. Okay, so really good to strengthen that whole lower body. Really good to challenge our pelvis. The pelvis has to really work hard to stabilize us. Really good. Both knees bend, step forward. We sink into our squat. Really nice to also mobilize through those ankles. We've got 3 more like this. 2 more. Final 1, meet with that leg all the way back. This is it for these curtsey lunges. We go for small pulses up and down, both knees bend. Really nice, keep your head lifted. We've got 3, 2, 1, stand all the way up, shake out through your legs. Hands come onto your hips. Can we lift up onto both of your tiptoes and then sink both of your heels down? Really good, so just flushing out through those legs. We started those heel raises in our bridge and we're just going to finish with them here. Then you come all the way up onto your tiptoes and we walk it out. One heel drops, the other knee bends. Come back onto your tiptoes and then we switch. We lift, you drop, we lift, we switch. Walking it out, it's like a really exaggerated walking movement, almost as if you're on a catwalk. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, come up onto your tiptoes, sink both of your heels down, just have a quick shake out of those legs. From there, we're going to circle those arms out, around and up, interlace those arms all the way out that top point. You reach up and over to one side, open through your ribs, open through your side body, just checking in to see how you're feeling now. At the end of the class, come back to center, reach up and then over towards the opposite side. Coming back to center, really big reach towards the ceiling. Circle those arms out, around and down. Shoulders roll back. Shoulders roll forward. Give yourselves a massive smile Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today. I really hope you enjoyed that class.